side effect. It fills my muscles out, specifically the booty cheeks. Oh, creatine's gonna make you gain weight. I was asleep. I was in the bed. I was knocked out, okay? I'm hip thrusting 405 pounds. I'm gonna lose all that hard work that I spent over these 2 years, and it's just gonna be deflated like a balloon. What's good, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Kayla Lachey, and I've been wanting to do this video for so long, so freaking long. If you guys have been here following along on my fitness journey even before I made my own fitness YouTube channel, then you girls know that I have been supplementing creatine for a little over 2 years now, and I've been very consistent on my fitness journey with creatine. I've ordered this specific creatine multiple times, and it's the Creatine from EHP Labs. I will link it below. This is like pure creatine monohydrate, and it is literally the best creatine I've ever tried. And prior to this, you guys know I had a horror story with trying a different brand's creatine, only to find out it wasn't even a pure creatine source. It had stimulants and fillers, and my body just reacted in hives. It was horrible for months. So once I tried this and I found that it worked well for me and my body, I just stuck with it. I am an athlete for EHP Labs, but all of my reviews, no matter if it's activewear, supplements, or just talking about things on my own personal journey, are always going to be 100% with you girls and guys watching. So with that being said, I will link this creatine down below along with my discount code K10 so you guys can get some money off of your next creatine purchase, or any of my favorite supplements, just so you can save. So I thought it would be interesting to talk about creatine and kind of dive into the side effects, things that I've personally noticed, good and bad, like the pros and cons, and kind of debunking some myths that are kind of popular when you think of creatine. As someone that has been very consistent with this supplement for over 2 years, I think it's really telling versus just reading an article about it in a general way. So let me just start with some basics. I did take some notes because I've just been documenting side effects and just little things that I've noticed about this particular supplement. So let's get into the basics, and I'll highlight a little bit about this supplement and why it's my absolute fave, and why I feel like it will be always an essential on my fitness journey. What type of creatine is the best type of creatine? As I mentioned previously, when I first started my journey, I didn't know a lot about supplements, so I just was trying a bunch of things out. I didn't realize that you needed pure creatine, aka a creatine that doesn't have stimulants like caffeines or fillers in it. You really want something that's just pure creatine. This one is actually a pharmaceutical grade of creatine monohydrate, as I already mentioned. So there's no additives in this, which is great because that means that I can stack this with anything else, which will in turn help me stay consistent with taking this daily. So I will add this to just water if I want to take it quickly in the morning. It is unflavored. I will add it to my Oxy Greens. I'll throw it in my Oxy Shred. I'll put it in my Pride pre-workout before the gym. So it's very versatile in that aspect, and you can literally mix it with whatever you want, which I think is amazing. You get 100 servings for this, which I personally feel is the best bang for your buck. When I was first starting out and looking at creatines, a lot of them don't have this many servings, so I love that. And this one is 5 grams per scoop. That's what I've been taking dosage wise for these past 2 years, and it's worked really well for me personally. So that's just a little bit about like creatine and just wanting to get something pure that doesn't have a lot of additives and just things that are just unnecessary for the gains that we want to build. Now, this next question I get asked so much because you guys know that I'm obsessed with creatine, and it is, who is creatine for? Like, you guys know that I'm bulking. I've been trying to gain weight. I've been trying to build muscle. So I do have viewers that watch me that are the complete opposite, where they want to lose weight. They don't want to gain fat. And I also have people that watch me that are trying to maintain their current physique. I would say that creatine is for anyone. any of those people, weight gain, weight loss, wanting to build muscle, wanting to maintain your physical appearance. Because it doesn't have calories, you're not going to be able to gain fat. Okay, and I feel like there's a big myth when it comes to that oh, creatine's gonna make you gain weight, it's gonna make you fat, it's gonna make you bloated, it's gonna make you this, and it's gonna make you that. In my personal experience, it has not made me gain fat. I don't feel like I look fluffy or anything. I actually feel like I look more toned and I look more defined, because the whole purpose of creatine is to pull water and retain that water in your muscles. So it's gonna help you with bigger muscle mass with that water retention, and I personally feel like it gives me more of like a shape. It fills my muscles out, specifically the booty cheeks, and it makes it look more full and pumped up, like I just completed a workout, but it stays that way all the time. Similar to like your upper body and stuff like that, your muscles are just gonna look more toned, more pumped, more defined. It's not gonna give you that fat, fluffy look like gaining a bunch of fat would, and I feel like that's a big misconception. So for that reason, I highly recommend it to anyone's goal, especially if you want to build muscle and keep that muscle and continue on with your muscle gain. So hopefully that helps you guys with that, because that is one of the most asked questions that I get. I want to talk about my experience taking creatine and the side effects that I personally experienced, and then I'll talk about the other half of that, like what happens when you stop taking creatine, because I'm currently not on creatine, and we'll get into that at the end of this video. But when I first started taking creatine, first of all, I did not do what they call a loading phase. I spoke about this in my very first video when I first tried this supplement out. I was just taking 1 scoop every single day to introduce it into my body. I wasn't overdoing it to kind of get quicker results, as they say, with the loading phase. So for me, I never experienced bloating, which I feel is, again, something very common that people associate creatine with. Personally, I didn't, because I was drinking a lot of water. Because remember, it pulls water into our muscles. All the water that we're consuming throughout the day is going into our muscles, so it can lead to dehydration if you are not drinking enough fluids, especially when you're in the gym, you're working out, you're sweating, you need to replenish that as well. So if you're drinking enough water, I don't think you're going to experience bloating, because I didn't. And I also get asked all the time, well, how much water do I drink? Like, what is the right amount? I don't know. Just drink until you're not thirsty. You never want to feel like SpongeBob at Sandy's house. You know what I'm saying? Which can happen if you're not conscious about sipping on water throughout the day. So go get a Stanley and you'll be just fine. So bloating was never something that I experienced while taking creatine. Maybe within like the first week, when I started to realize, wait, I'm a little thirsty. Like, I never experienced this before, so I started to consume more water right away, and it took care of any issues that I might have had. Something else I noticed when taking creatine, not even just in the beginning, but even up until currently, like 2 years later, is an increase in energy that I feel in the gym. Like, I'm just like ready to go when I get to the gym. I'm excited. I want to like stack on all these plates. I want to start hitting PRs, and I am just pushing through these weights like it's nothing. Creatine in turn will also help you with the ability to gain strength. And that was something that I noticed with this almost instantly. So if you are someone that struggles with, let's say that you're in like a plateau or something and you're stuck hitting the same weights at the gym, I would actually recommend creatine for you to get out of that stuck place, because it will allow you to gain that strength and that power. Like, I don't know how it does it, but I feel like a boss in the gym sometimes. I'm stacking on 6 plates for my leg press. 12 plates. I'm hip thrusting 405 pounds, and it's insane because I never thought I would be able to do that. So it really gave me a lot of strength and power in the gym, and it allowed me to push through plateaus that I was in. So I love this supplement, I think, purely for that and the effect of just having a big juicy booty all the time, if I'm gonna be 100% with you girls. And another like side effect, I mean, this is a good thing because this is why I want to take it, is an increase in my muscle mass. I've definitely noticed over these 2 years that my glutes, which is like where I'm trying to really focus on my lower half, my quads, my hamstrings, all together, I feel like my glutes have really developed in 2 years, which might seem like, oh my god, that is a long time, but it takes a long time, you guys, to build muscle. Spoiler alert, like it's not like Instagram. You're not going to get these quick overnight week results. Like it's going to take time to build muscle that's going to stay on your body. So for me, I feel like I've really been able to utilize the strength that it gives me in the gym to lift heavier and focus on my progressive overload, which in turn equates to building muscle and targeting those areas that I want to grow, my booty, my legs, all that kind of stuff. And I'm really able to use it to my advantage. I feel like if you want to take creatine and maybe your goal is to gain weight, but you're not working out, it's going to be kind of hard to get those same results. Your muscles might look bigger because it's pulling the water in that area, but you're not actively trying to build muscle at the same time. So I highly recommend pairing creatine with, you know, working out, lifting some weights, and you're definitely going to see some incredible results with that combination. So I feel like my size is just looking so good, especially when I compare where I started with where I'm at right now, which I'm sure you girls have seen in the thumbnail photo. Like I feel like my glutes are small until I did that side by side and I was like, hold up, that's not the same girl. Like that was literally a week ago, you guys, my last leg day when I took that photo, and it is so crazy. It's just so crazy to me, and I'm so proud of myself for like doing the work because it's not easy, but creatine definitely helped me with that process and giving me the assistance that I needed. So I really wanted to touch on that. And then the other part of this video, which I think is really important because I never really knew about what would happen when you stop taking creatine, when you are consistent with taking it every single day and it's always in your system, right? So of course throughout these 2 years I wasn't taking creatine religiously every single day on the dot because I, you know, got sick a few times. I maybe went on vacation, I had celebrations like my birthday, I've maybe fallen off of my routine and I wasn't as consistent in the gym. So of course life happens and you're not as consistent with your day-to-day routine. So outside of that, like I am now currently not on creatine because of said reasons. I went on a family vacation, then I got sick, and then I like got my period, and then I just was not motivated to go to the gym for maybe like 3.5 weeks. So I wasn't taking my supplements like I typically would, and I just told myself, well, let me just try to get off of creatine and we'll see how it kind of goes and see if I notice anything differently. Oh my gosh, did I notice some things going on? Okay, so let me just say I think I've been off of creatine for about a month. Yeah, I want to say like around the 18th. I don't know, it's been about a month, which isn't really that long because it does take some time for the creatine to kind of leave your system because you know you're used to taking it. The first side effect, y'all, I was so tired, so fatigued. Like, I'm talking like my body felt heavy. I wanted to be in the bed, and I think part of me not having that motivation was maybe because I wasn't taking my creatine. I didn't realize and make the connection that, girl, it's because I'm not taking my creatine that I am just so fatigued, and maybe that has to do with it leaving my body. I'm not really sure. And then maybe my body having to make up for not make up for, but get back to making its own creatine source, because our body does make creatine, so it is natural for your body. So I feel like because of that, girl, I was asleep, I was in the bed, I was knocked out. Okay, so that was like one big thing that I noticed almost instantly. If you're currently supplementing creatine and maybe you're thinking about getting off of it for a little bit, you might be tired, so definitely be cautious about that side effect. Another thing I was kind of worried about was, oh, because I'm not taking creatine, I'm gonna lose all my muscle. I'm gonna lose all that hard work that I spent over these 2 years, and it's just gonna be deflated like a balloon. That did not happen to me. So I wanted to kind of mention that because I feel like that's also a common question that I've gotten on other creatine videos that I've done. Like, well, what happens when you stop taking it? Are you just gonna lose your muscle? Personally, I didn't, because I think I'm really good about eating my calories and my protein to keep up with, you know, my muscle mass. And then also I'm still lifting in the gym even though I'm not taking my creatine, so I'm still actively trying to build muscle and keep what I have on me. So similar to what I said earlier, I think when you are consistent with your routine, you're consistently being active and moving your body, eating what is good for your body and fueling it to get those muscle gains, then you're not going to lose the progress that you've built, because this only assists you to building more. I feel like in a quicker period of time, if I'm honest with you. So I do feel like in turn, if I wasn't on creatine, I probably wouldn't be able to lift as much as I do now. Low-key, I'm still kind of thirsty. Even though I feel like I drink a lot of water and I'm not supplementing creatine, I'm just thirsty all the time. So in turn, I'd be peeing all the time as well. I think that might be something in correlation to it, maybe because it's not being pulled into my muscles. So that might be something to mention when it comes to like a side effect or anything. But before creatine, y'all, I've always had a small bladder. Like, it's annoying. So that might just be a personal problem that I have. So I think that's pretty much it when it comes to like the side effects of going off of creatine. Now, the other thing I want to mention is why is it good to get off of creatine? I think personally it's nice not to necessarily rely on a supplement all the time. So taking a break from it, just like anything in life, if you're doing too much of something, it's nice to kind of step away and then revisit that thing again. And I think it can only just help me with my progression in the future. I'm thinking about going back on creatine at the 1st of next month. So I'm going to enjoy my little hiatus from it. And I just wanted to highlight that you will still have your gains. I think that's one of the biggest things too, that you're just going to lose everything and the supplement isn't going to do anything for you. And that's not true at all, considering the fact that I have like literally the best results I've ever had, and I'm taking a pause from creatine. I think that speaks volumes to how well this supplement actually works, because I'm still able to push through like my sessions. Oh, I missed a point. A side effect. I feel like low-key I'm not able to do as many reps and sets and heavy weight while not on creatine. I can still lift heavy, but not my heaviest and knocking out so many sets and reps. So I will mention that I can still do, like, for example, like my hip thrust when I was on creatine right before I went on my vacation. I actually ended up hitting a PR of 8 plates, so 405 pounds, and I only got 5 reps out of that on my last set. Then I went on vacation, took that break, stopped taking creatine, and I'm back in the gym obviously now, and I'm still able to lift 8 plates, so 405 pounds, and I'm still kind of at that same rep range where I can maybe knock out one set of like 5 to 6 reps and then I'm like dead. So, I mean, I'm still able to lift heavy in the gym, but I do feel like I get a little bit more tired versus while I was taking creatine, which is why I want to get back on creatine so I can have that strength and that power and that drive in the gym again to really get some crazy results throughout this winter fall season. So again, like, I do think it is nice to take a break if you need to take a break, and just even see how you feel, see if you notice anything different, and see if it's actually like worth taking, because sometimes taking a break from something will actually show you how well it's working for you and what the results are actually like. So that's pretty much it, you guys. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully this is helpful and it gives you a little bit of an insight of a personal experience of taking creatine for a longer period of time, 2+ years, and, being consistent with it, and then taking a break from it, and then just sharing some side effects and debunking some myths, and hopefully assisting you with your own creatine journey if you've never started creatine, but maybe you're thinking about getting on it. Honestly, do I recommend it? And would I go back and take it again, knowing what I know now? Absolutely. I wish I started creatine. I've said this so many times, y'all. When I first started my fitness journey, I wish I started creatine from the jump, because I feel like my results would have been twice as what they are now. because it speeds up the process. Like, it is just so good. It is by far my favorite supplement. I was gonna say maybe I like it more than pre-workout, but I'm not going to the gym without pre-workout, so you lost your mind with that. But pre-workout, creatine, and a good protein powder, and then like a greens powder, that's all I need in my stack, baby. So links will be down below to the creatine, like I mentioned, and you can read up on it for yourselves and do your own research. I always say this, do your own research. That's what I do. I do my own research before doing anything, and I like to just share my own personal experience. And not everybody is going to have the same results. It's not all going to be linear. It's not all going to be amazing. You might experience different things than me because we all live kind of different lifestyles. We're not always doing the same exact things. We don't eat the same way as well. So that might vary. I'm also dairy free, so maybe that's why I don't experience bloating. I don't know. There's a lot of factors here. So do your own research and take this video as a grain of salt. All I can say is I'm a visual person, so my photos to me speak volumes. My strength in the gym personally speaks volumes to me enough to know that it is absolutely worth it. Like, absolutely worth it, you guys. Thumbs up if this was helpful for you girls. Subscribe for more fitness vlogs and content, and I will catch you girls in my next video. Bye!